All right. Well, welcome back again. I am back with Chris Saunders from Insta Graphics. Chris, or how are you doing today?
I'm great, Aaron. Thanks. I'm looking forward to our second video.
Yeah, this is great. I love bringing people this information, and we get to cover some great ground. And we wanted to talk a little bit today, kind of about expanding your customization with the heat press. So, um, what are you seeing out there? People doing today in the decorating world? What kinds of things stand out to you?
Well, there's actually a couple things, Aaron. Over the last decade, the heat transfers have become an increasingly effective and affordable means of decorating printing and custom brand identification. With the advancements in paper and ink and heat press equipment, we've expanded the use of transfers far beyond what the garment decorator and the heat transfer application is really a persuasive method of customizing for so many industries. So, in summary, the heat transfer and machinery is your customization platform.
Yeah, definitely. Those tools and seeing people kind of expand and grow because of that technology that you mentioned is incredible to see the growth going on. So Chris, tell me, what types of industries are you seeing this heat transfer technology in? What kinds of things can people look to grow their business with?
Our transfer printing application is now heavily used in a lot of varieties of industries. It's not just singly for the custom little mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
From apparel to medical, athletic, awards, home goods, promotional, and really so much more. And what has expanded beyond belief for me, what I'm seeing in the industry, is the sublimation marketplace. Is really taking us to a new millennium with customization on wood, aluminum panels, mugs, socks, and so much more. I mean, walking into a hospital, I see aluminum panels printed. Walking into a sports arena, I see aluminum panels printed as their signage now and not the old way of making signs.
Yeah. That's absolutely true. Being anybody that knows me knows that I'm a sublimation guy, kind of at heart. I love sublimation. Got my backdrop here that's been sublimated, and so sublimation is definitely one of those things, Chris, where the heat press is a huge part of that. You mentioned aluminum panels, and when you're pressing those things, if you don't have even heat and pressure, you're going to ruin that aluminum panel that could have cost you $50. So, having the right tools to do that are super important. So, you mentioned sublimation. What about some other decorating techniques?
Probably the biggest advancement in printing in the last 10 to 15 years, which I'm seeing throughout the world, is the direct-to-garment industry. It's really taken us by storm. Brother, Epson, Kornit. It's the printing of the industry. I mean, it's what's happening now for printing. But what's important to know, especially with Insta, is you need a heat press for both pre and post curing. So yes, it does your printing for you right on your garment, but you have to pre-cure for dark, which needs heavy pressure, and then your post-cure for drying. If it's a smaller applications, people are using a heat press or they actually use a tunnel dryer. But having the application for post-cure, we use an Insta 158 because most of it's about a 30-second dwell, and it's an auto-release system that the applicator doesn't have to sit there and wait for it to be completed.
Yeah.
So for sure, this direct-to-garment, and you can customize on apparel, and now they're doing hats and shoes, and it's done in a second, and on what I'm calling on demand. And as we know in the industry right now, everything is just-in-time manufacturing.
Yep.
There's absolutely nothing on the shelves, and everyone wants it now. And this is the way that you can do it very quickly and economically.
Absolutely. And, with direct-to-garment printing, you mentioned that some people might try to use a tunnel dryer, but, in all of my years of experience in that decoration technique and working with some of the equipment out there, the washability you get out of being able to heat press to have that post seal, that finishing part is so much better. So with an automatic release press, like you mentioned there, you slide that shirt on there, press it, move on to the next one. So that's really awesome.
Right. And we're happy that we can be included in that industry with some industry giants.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned some of the names earlier. So, so last time we talked, Chris, you kind of talked about some of the wide range of available presses that you guys have. I mean, you had an extremely awesome line of stuff that you guys offer out to the industry there. But talk to us about some other markets and decorating segments who can expand their offering with a heat press that we might not think of from our traditional industry.
As you mentioned, there's a wide variety of heat presses available, from an entry-level hobby person up to the large format press, which is our new 1020 machine.
Yeah.
And it really provides no boundaries because of the size of the custom print. So we can do very small up to very large, from a 1 to 1.2 meter application. But there are a lot of processes that we provide customization options for, and I'm actually going to take a step to the side.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over 7 and just show you, because we have some examples.
Oh, awesome.
For Insta, what's called the color copy market is extremely important, and because this market needs a lot of heavy pressure, we can use what's called color copy paper with a CLC printer and an Insta machine to do a one-off customization of a product. So through your printer, you use special paper, it's called coated paper, and you print on an Oki, a Ricoh, a lot of different types of printers. But this market, and Aaron, you know this very well, is very important, is a huge part of the printed apparel market. And it expands because you can print on wood, acrylic. It just doesn't have to be apparel by changing your paper. So today I'm just showing you Magic Touch, which is a partner of Insta's globally, and their paper can do lights and darks, and that's a real advancement in color copy paper printing with dark transfer paper.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. And
we
like you said,
the direct to garment, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We talked about the direct to garment industry and the ability to print with an Insta heat press. Again, both of those industries need an extreme amount of pressure, and that pressure is extremely important to get that down into the fibers of the garment. So the first or second time you wash it, your design doesn't wash out. So that's the competitive advantage, if you will, of the Insta press for those two. Sublimation, your favorite, Aaron.
yeah, that's right.
We have a few examples in here today where you can print aluminum, and with the different size machinery, you can print from small aluminum signage up to what we do with the 1020, a 1 by 1.2 meter aluminum panel. But not only with aluminum, you can print garments, which we have here, that show the front and the back sublimated, complete overall print. A lot of people are doing this in the sport industry. They're actually doing print cut piece, and you'll see front and then flip to the back. And they're doing this in not only yardage, but in cut piece form with all different kinds of equipment, even calendar presses where they're putting the apparel all the way through the calendar, which is different from what we sell.
Yeah.
Sublimation has taken everybody by storm. We've printed socks, so this is sublimated. We've printed a little mouse pad, which is sublimated. So it gives you a lot of variety. And as we know, that even temperature on a sublimated heat press has to be high and even, top to bottom, side to side.
Absolutely. Yeah. And
okay,
I love,
sorry,
Chris,
Aaron?
I'm going to interrupt you real quick because I just want to ask you about that all over shirt.
The wide format machine, yes, is our Insta 1020, and it's actually a dual shuttle. So you bring the machine in while you are doing the application, and then you apply on the bottom, and you put all your cut pieces. You can move both manual, semi-automatic, and full production. We have a lot of these out in the marketplace right now.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for filling me in on that. Are there a couple other things you want to show us there? There's tons of, it looks like you got all sorts of fun stuff behind you there. I'm excited.
I do. We, at Insta print custom transfers. So I just have a few samples here.
Okay.
These are a bit smaller, but as you see, a transfer is printed on either paper or mylar film and then transferred with our heat seal equipment. We use both manual and automatic equipment for that. And as you see, it's a myriad of different types of transfers available. Transfers in the sport market, in medical, a lot of usage actually, because of nothing put on the shelf, and they can order and print exactly what they need for just-in-time marketing.
That's awesome.
Aaron, in the CAD cut market, we're seeing that flex vinyl machine, and I don't have any here, but you know it quite well. And flex vinyl with printers is extremely important, and you need a heat press. So they can actually print and cut with vinyl, and we know a lot of different companies that are doing that right now, and you can take it and do it at home, filling in names, names and numbers.
Awesome. Okay.
Label printing, back neck labels. There are absolutely no more back neck labels. You will not see one in any shirt unless it's extremely high end. So here we have a back neck label that we have printed. And this is actually a paper print and apply.
Wow, that's awesome.
And most people are using what we call a tagless label.
Yep.
Can be done in a couple different processes depending on if it needs to be stretched, if it's on sublimated garments. But label printing is huge in the industry right now, and most of it is done on a heat press.
Yeah. Yep.
One thing that I'm seeing, and I was just at the Sign Expo, is a lot of people are now coming to one-stop shop. So a sign manufacturer that used to just make signs that are up on walls, that are, on the streets, are now going full service. And this sign industry is open for a lot of people to come in to provide the full package for all types of applications, bringing your team in, bringing your church in. It gives you a full stop shop. So that's a new market that actually I see coming for our type of printing.
Yeah. Wow. So, we covered a ton of ground. You had some awesome samples there. I think the real takeaway for me is that there's so much you can do with your business around that centerpiece of the right heat press. You mentioned some of the pressure needed for the direct-to-garment or the color copy printing, the toner transfer kind of printing stuff. And I've always, throughout my years, loved using the Insta because you can get that pressure without breaking my back. You guys have engineered them in such a way that I can actually close it and repeat that closing over and over again without injuring myself. And as I get older, that's a concern. So,
we really take ergonomics and the applicators. We are very cautious about who and what we do. Our new wraparound handle on the 256 is a perfect example. We went into a lot of manufacturing arenas around the world, and they wrapped it with cloth. And I go, well, why? Well, why? And they go, because it's hard and it's a little knob, and we want to have a real clear and a smooth swing. So hence the wraparound handle on our manual pieces of equipment.
That's
so
awesome.
We listen to the industry, we listen to our distributors, and we do try to keep the applicator in mind when we manufacture.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, Cris, this has been great. Thank you so much for sharing all those samples with us and really kind of giving us a feel for I mean, all the opportunities to expand our business with this. Where can people go to learn more about Insta?
Our website, www.instagraph.com, social media, Facebook, Instagram. We have a blog. We try and keep our media section very current, that this will be up on that.
Awesome.
But we're trying to really be upfront and be a resource for our customers too. We don't just want to sell the product. We want to give added value, which is very important in the market today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time today. We will make sure everybody gets over there to the website and check this out, and we will talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Aaron, very much.